Okay, I'm going to illustrate how to ship a project with a customized business logic. I'm not going to talk about how you actually customize the business logic and write that XML, but just assuming that you've done that and assuming that you've saved your layer files and you've got that symbology. What we want to do is illustrate how you could package up and send this along in a specific project, because this is one of the first places that Rave looks. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a particular project. So give me one second here. So let's just go in and I'll take this Riverscapes context project, okay? And so right now inside this, it's just got the project file and it doesn't have any business logic file. And I'm going to illustrate with this Riverscape context file. I'm going to go into ArcMap. And so this was Huck 10000202. Okay, so if I open up, and so navigate to there, open up that project, it pops in and it's got some symbology that's right now that is released with this particular version of Rave. Okay, so we can add in the hillshade, and one of the ways that I can tell right out of the gates whether or not this is got the latest greatest is I add in that DEM, for example. I add in this slope, and the business logic is exposing that files exist here, but it's just using default ArcGIS symbology. And so what we're going to do is we're going to remove this, okay, from the table of contents. This project is still open. I could close it and then do the changes and refresh it. But here's what I'll do instead. Well, actually, yeah, I'll do that. This is my project, and what I also have is some business logic right here that I wrote, so I'll copy that, and then some layers. I'll copy both of these over. And as long as I unzip those layer files in that same directory, this Riverscape context project will look for those layer files, okay? And so if I wanted to come out and I wanted to zip up this whole folder, right, and send that to somebody, as long as it has these layer files and this Riverscape context in it, and assuming that business logic is working correctly, it should open it up. So let's just see if that works here. So first thing we're going to do, go back, that same project, we're going to open this up. And the first thing we'll notice is that it's a different sort of list than what we had before. If we can prove this to ourselves by going and opening another project of the same type that doesn't have this stuff in it. So you can see right away the difference. This one has roads and rail. This one has roads, rails, and canals. Under hydrology, you can see the names here, and under hydrology here, it's actually broken out into watershed boundaries and hydrography. And so this is a more customized sort of business logic, and it's only being applied to the project that it finds that business logic within. And so just to see that this is indeed different, I can add this DEM. Let's just see if any of these other things come in symbolized. Now, one of the things in the current release that's not implemented is the transparencies. So I'm just going to cheat and shove that on there. So there we go. We've got the detrended DEM. Remember, we added the slope analysis, and it was just the default symbology. Let's add that in. That looks good. We could add in our DEM. That also looks good. And then if we wanted to go up here, we've got this. This is the full drainage network right there. We could just add the perennial network if we wanted to. All right, we could add the ephemeral network. And so all of these things allow us to get some context and figure out what's going on here. So, so that's how you basically ship a business logic with a project. You just simply copy, simply copy into the project the layer files that the business logic is referencing and the business logic file itself. Now, and that will only apply to that particular project. So this is a good way to share stuff with other Rave users, and they don't really have to know much about business logic or how any of this works. It will just load the one that you've intended. Okay.